You know, many find it hard to believe I own a sleigh that can fly. But you know what I find hard to believe? The unbelievable offers going on at the winter event.
The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is back with incredible offers on the sporty CLA, the thrilling C-Class, the versatile GLA, the safe and secure GLE, the innovative GLC, and of course, the unequaled E-Class. But hurry, because these sleighs are going fast. Visit MBUSA.com/winter event. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Blog Talk Radio.
World won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, girl. Just you and me.
Welcome to What's New with VHHughes. I'm your host, Venus Henderson-Hughes. On the line, I also have Vanessa Henderson. Vanessa? Vanessa?
Hello?
Okay, we have Vanessa Henderson on the line. I'm not sure what happened. So, first of all, Vanessa, happy Pretty Brown Girl Day.
Happy Pretty Brown Girl Day to you, too.
So, listeners, if you don't know what Pretty Brown Girl Day is, it's a celebration that started out in Detroit, Michigan. And the founder basically saw that there were not enough beautiful things out there for young ladies of color to actually be proud about. So she created a doll, and I think her name is Layla. Excuse me if I'm not saying her name right. But she created this doll, and this doll has went nationwide. People, as Oprah has this doll. So this is a celebration of young ladies, black young ladies, all young ladies of color, whether they're Indian, black, whatever. And it's a celebration. It's an empowerment movement for young ladies. And so we celebrate Pretty Brown Girl Day here in Arizona as well. So, and it's fitting because this is the last Saturday in Black History Month, so we definitely wanted to say Happy Pretty Brown Girl Day. So, our subject today is on our seniors. And our seniors and the trials and tribulations that they go through. What do I mean by that? Well, it's tough being a person at times, but our demographics, especially with our young children and our seniors, they sort of get shafted. And, of course, now they have the other avenue, especially with sexually transmitted infections. So we're going to take an hour, or less than an hour, to highlight on our seniors everywhere. One of the things that has come up, and it's not a new subject, but our elders are disappearing. What do I mean by that? Well, grandmas used to be 60, 50. 50 was a young grandma. But usually you were looking at someone in their 60s or above holding the title of grandma. I became a grandma at 38. So our elders are not disappearing. We need our elders. We need our elders back. And because of that, we definitely need to figure out how we can continue to be with and be for our elders. I created the H3P Senior Initiative because I knew that so many elders out there were by themselves, especially here in Arizona, where a lot of seniors come during the holidays, during the winter months, or during time that they just want to get away from their prospective states. Well, when it comes down to that, they're out here by themselves most of the time. Now, you do have those that actually come together and they make friends and they have that relationship. But you also have those seniors that, are basically used to being out and by themselves. And for those seniors especially, I worry because so many things can happen to them. Not that Arizona is a bad state. I'm not calling Arizona a bad state. But what I'm saying is they need to be aware of their surroundings. When I was growing up, we were always taught to be in a group. Same thing should be said for our seniors. They're out there, they're by themselves, they're on their hover rounds, if you will, and they're, just out there basically alone. The way that some of our people drive out there, they can be hit, they can be hurt. We done had plenty of seniors get hurt. And because of that, the H3P Senior Initiative is available to help them. I think I dropped my guest host, so hold on for just a second. Hello?
Hello?
All right. I don't know what's going on with your phone, but I'm going to need you to stay on the line.
Well, I was on the line. I don't know what happened to you, but I was like, hello.
Voice needs to come out. So what I was saying is that our seniors are out there by themselves, and they are susceptible to many, many dangers because they're out there by themselves. And we do have the exception, of course, to the rule because they happen to be able to make friends. But what about those seniors who are out there, and you see them from time to time, they're out there by themselves, or they're on their hover rounds by themselves going down the bike lane or things like that. What about those seniors? Guests, feel free to call in at 347-826-7959 and join the discussion. So we have the Area Agency on Aging, and they do a tremendous effort with making sure that seniors are taken care of. They have programs that help with something as simple as filling out brochures to helping them find places to live and things like that. But what if you don't know about that? Or what if you weren't aware of that? What if you don't feel comfortable talking to those people? What happens to those seniors? Can they depend on their family? Who knows? A lot of times we see in the senior population where they feel like they have been sort of put on the shelf. They feel like, well, I don't want to interrupt anybody else's life because I've lived my life and they have to live theirs. But our seniors are our jewels. They're our wealth of knowledge, and we need to treat them as such. And as I said, our seniors are now seeming to reduce because our elders, after this set of elders sort of passes away, there won't be any more. It'll be a while before I become an elder. I'm only 41. So our elders are here, and we need to value those elders that we have. Unfortunately, we're not valuing them. There's too many times where I can recall when I was riding the bus, and the senior may have been on the bus, and nobody has bothered to get up and give the seat to the senior because they feel like, well, if I can stand, they can stand. What happened to the respect? Vanessa, what happened to the respect for our elders?
I don't know. A lot of times I see that too, and especially, what? And the thing is, they'll look at you and they'll scoot over to the side and make sure that you go past them, but they won't give you the seat no more. But then this day and age is different than what you grew up in. There's a lot of things going out the window, like courtesy and everything else. There's no more opening doors and things like that for our. None of that is happening anymore. So.
It's when I think about our young people, and it all goes back to how they were raised. So when I think about how these children are being raised, or the lack of raising thereof, this is where that comes in. The fact that when you see a senior come on the bus and you get up and automatically give that seat to the senior. You know, some of that has been missed somewhere. Not sure where, but it's not happening anymore. It's not there anymore. That respect for our seniors, the fact that these seniors have so much, they lived before us. They've experienced so much stuff. And yet we treat them as if they're a nuisance, or we put them away because we don't want to be bothered. So these are the things that, you know, I looked at when I created the Senior Initiative. It's not just about the filling out of the applications and things like that, because sometimes seniors just need a conversation.
Sure. Sometimes
they just need somebody to have a conversation with. And I think if we actually took the time out to appreciate our seniors, we might be a little bit more appreciative of what they have to give us, and not always looking at what's in it for me. Because if you actually extend yourself out there to those seniors, you'll get so much just because. So, you know, we know that the statistics in the States and around the United States regarding sexually transmitted diseases have, of course, seeped into our senior population.
Oh, my goodness.
A lot of that comes from everything has changed. Now, when my grandmother, you know, when her husband passed away, she didn't go back out and try to find the next man to be with. It didn't happen that way. She did have a gentleman that she eventually did, you know, decide that he was worthy enough to be with, and that's the guy I grew up knowing as my grandfather. But it wasn't like it is now, where there's a quote unquote dating scene. You know, usually if you were widowed, you stayed widowed. You know, mm-hmm. Or if you were a widower, you just stayed by yourself. You may have had a few dates or whatever, but nobody was worthy enough to sort of, you know, become the next spouse. Now we see more and more there are like seniors are getting married more often than not. Some seniors are getting married very late in life, you know, after the spouse has passed away. And of course,
some of them seniors are marrying people way younger than us.
That's true too, because of the fact is that they feel like, and it's not just, and I know the thought process is always the guy that is marrying the younger person, but at times, you know, sometimes grandma is marrying somebody younger than her, you know, and they don't seem to think about that. It happens on both sides of the fence. But when we have this situation, we have to think about the interview process. That's right, people. I said the interview process. In the interview process, you're getting to know this person who may become your significant other, your husband, your boo, whatever you want to call them. And that interview process still needs to happen in our senior demographic. Now, I know a lot of these seniors are probably like, what does she know? She's in her 40s. She don't know us. We're trying to get somebody in our life before we go on to meet God. I get that. I do. But in doing so, you still have to be careful. A lot of things that were not out there before, a lot of them are out there now, and of course they're traveling over into our senior population. First of all, Grandma and Grandpa had sex so far into their relationship, so it's like, okay, after a while, you know, there was just no desire there. The libido reduced itself, and because of that, they just basically were together. Now, thanks to our medical technology, we have things like Cialis and Levitra and Viagra to, you know, continue that whole process. And because of that, Whereas that before, Grandma sort of was left hanging because Grandpa didn't have the urge anymore. Now Grandma doesn't want to be bothered because Grandpa has the urge and then some. So Grandpa goes out and he finds somebody to fulfill his urge and then brings home what he got from that person, whether it's somebody he knows or picked up from the street or whatever. He brings something back home to Grandma, and she doesn't know until she goes to the doctor. And then she finds out. Or another scenario is there is no Grandpa. And now Grandma is back out on the market, and she finds a older gentleman that, she's interested in, and they get together, and everything is well until, of course, she goes for her checkup and finds out something. Or the opposite happens. Grandpa finds a lady, and because that lady has no idea that she has this infection, she gives it to him. Now, he finds out, but now he can do one or two things. He can inform her, but when we think about our seniors, they have class. A lot of them do. So they're not just going to go up where it's at when you're younger and you're going to go up into that person's face and say, you know what, you gave me blah, 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 blah. Instead, they have the thought process of feelings for somebody else. So you're not just going to go off half-cocked and accuse somebody because you have to do your back steps, so to speak. And this situation is an everyday occurrence for our seniors. They don't know how to approach this anymore. This was something that was thought of back when they were younger. Now here it is now, and they're different now. They didn't expect this. The best thing about getting older to them was not being able to get pregnant. So that was the best thing. But now STDs have walked into their realm, and they need to get a grip. What's your thoughts on that, Vanessa?
Well, I mean, it really just depends, on the situation. Because, the same thing can be said about our younger generation. Sometimes you don't know, but then there are some old men who are bitter towards women. So you never know what Grandpa was thinking when he was out there. So, and the same thing goes for Grandma. She could have been upset, someone really hurt her younger, and now she's like, okay, well, I'll fix you and every other man in America. So, I mean, it's the same thing. Human emotions took over everything, so life still kind of ends up the same way.
So, like we did on our teen program, we do have the statistics.
Does Grandpa really have statistics like that? I wouldn't think they would.
Yes, they do. And this time I didn't go by the counties. I didn't include the 2011 county statistics. This time we're looking at strictly 2012. And, yes, they do have statistics. And, yes, these statistics make you say, because we have not only our primary and secondary syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, but we also have HIV and AIDS statistics for our seniors as well.
Oh, no.
So when we think of our sexually transmitted infections, nobody is immune. Just realize that. Nobody is immune.
It's not that.
You never
it's not
thought.
That. You just think that, because they're older and they're more careful, but apparently not.
Well, you have to think about this from their scenario. The thought process in being a senior, and I can see that. The thought process is that when I'm with somebody, that whole faithfulness comes in, right? So if I marry somebody, I'm married to that person and I have been together for 15 to 20 to 50 years together, I don't expect you to decide to go outside of our marriage. Or, because some of them have been together for years and just never went to the wedding. So you still have seniors out there who have established relationships. But the thought process is that you and I are together, so I don't expect you to decide that one day I want to taste a different flavor. So those are the things that, are thought about. So now reality comes in. And reality at times is not nice. And here it is. So, excuse me, people, I'm trying to fight off whatever this is. But regarding Arizona HIV statistics, they are broken down by region. So remember last week I said that there aren't county statistics per se, but they're regional. So they lump some counties together, and that's how they get their information. So how they're broken down by region, the northern region contains Apache County, Coconino, Gila, Mojave, Navajo, and Yavapai counties. The central region contains Maricopa and Pinal County. The southern region contains Cochise and Graham, Greeley, La Paz, Pima, Santa Cruz, and Yuma. That's all our counties. That's all the regions. That's how they're all coming up, and these are all based on the HIV statistics. Okay. So when I looked at the HIV statistics, I actually selected 60 to 64 and then 65 and above. So that's where we're going with this region, because even though some people feel like some people feel like 60 is not a senior or whatever, but then you have some people that say 65 plus is a senior. So I strategically picked the 60 on up statistics. So for 2012, HIV cases for age 60 to 64, we have 337. For 2012, AIDS cases, age 60 to 64, we have 512.
Oh, what's that?
For 2012, HIV cases, 65 and above, we have 317 cases. For 2012, AIDS cases, 65 and above, we have 378 cases.
Holy crap.
So it's obvious, and these are the cases that have been reported that year. These are not the ones that, were out there. These are just based on the 2012 readings from people going to their doctor, the health department, or whatever. What do you have to say about that, Vanessa? What's your thoughts on that? It's like, wow, man.
It's kind of mind-blowing. It's really kind of mind-blowing because, the seniors, like I said, everyone has this picture of the seniors, they're not out there, they're the safest ones, and to hear that is kind of like, well, yeah, we know sometimes people don't know, what's going on, or their partner is not faithful and things like that, but even still, just to hear that alone is, like, kind of mind-blowing.
Well, you have to think about the fact that the relationship, the fact that in your older age that somebody still finds you attractive, we have to think about that now. We have to think about the fact that somebody in your older age thought that you were cute or whatever or handsome, and so you forget the interview process that you had before. You put yourself in danger, and at times, I don't think that our seniors, and they could be starting to get aware of that because of all these statistics coming out, but when you think about it, that whole process of, hey, maybe I should talk to whoever and see, what their status is. Those things don't probably cross their mind because they've never been in that situation before. Who would have thought that at 60 some odd years somebody would find you not only attractive but would want to spend time with you and eventually have sex with you? I don't think that is something that's on their mind. Like, yeah, there are some spunky seniors out there. Everybody is not, 1 foot in the grave.
Right.
So we got that. But in that process, who comes to mind? I'll tell you who comes to mind. Remember the Golden Girls? Remember Blanche Devereaux? Remember that? You remember seeing the Golden Girls, Vanessa?
Huh?
You remember seeing the Golden Girls, Blanche Devereaux?
Yeah.
So you remember she was the one who had sex out of all of the ladies. You know, she was the player. And yet, something as simple as a STD, if it did come up in the show, I don't remember it. But
I don't think so. And I watched the new one start off with, so I don't think so.
So, something like that character now exists for real in real life.
But, what did come up there was that she did use condoms. Because I remember one episode when she said that, she had condoms by her bed. She was talking to Dorothy, telling her, about the guy. And she's like, I have condoms by my bed, because they were worried about her. But, yeah, so they do mention condoms, but not about an STD. So,
okay, so if she at least has the common sense to protect herself. Callers, please join in on the conversation. Area code 347-826-7959. We'll love to hear your take on everything. So going into chlamydia, which, of course, is a huge thing out here in Arizona, right?
5,000 shares.
So for the 2012 reported cases for age, now this one started with 55. So for age 55 to 64, there were 111 reported cases of chlamydia.
What? I'm sorry.
111 reported cases of chlamydia in 2012. This is all based on 2012 statistics. So for age 65 and plus, there were 32 cases.
Okay.
So, okay. Now, when we look at our seniors, their cases, of course, are nowhere as large as our teen population. No way.
Right.
No. But the fact that our seniors have cases of chlamydia, is still disturbing because 65 plus, and see, 65 plus, that means that they could be 70, 80, 90.
No.
With this.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to the STDs, now I know that some of these seniors could be part of those children that had the STD. So, do they separate that from the statistic? Because, some of them who are born with it are also part of the study. So,
it's broken down by age group.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, some of these people possibly had it at a younger age, because they were born into it, or from their parents, they got it, and that's part of this, statistic. So do they, divulge that fact that, some of these people had it all their life, not necessarily did, but, just being born?
These statistics are based upon the brand new cases.
Okay.
So these are not, who had it or whatever. These are, I went to the doctor.
Brand new people who just recently got it.
Yeah, I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, guess what? This is what you got. So this is what this is.
Well, yeah, I always wonder that with the cases, because I know there are some people who were, born like that. So I didn't know, how the statistic really.
Well, that would, if they're born like that, of course, that would be in the lower age brackets. You're less than 0 to 2 or something like that. But these are this age demographic. This is so this is where, and it's the same thing for our teens, is from their demographic, first diagnosis, first thing that hits the CDC. So this is where all this comes from.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
So for the cases of gonorrhea for age 60 to 64 for 2012, we had 18 cases. For 65 plus for gonorrhea, we had 15 cases.
Okay.
So, again, the cases are not large, but the fact of the matter is that grandma have it, And our last thing, our primary and secondary syphilis, for 59 to 64, we had 2 cases, and for 64 plus, we had 1 case. So, tremendously lower statistical amount, but they're still high.
Yeah.
They're still high. They're still out there. They're still, and because of these cases, you have to think about it. Because these cases are so small, that in turn gives it more room to grow because there's not that many people out there that have it. Therefore, you're not going to know. And see, and another thing, I don't think a senior would be comfortable in saying, have you been tested? And they could be. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking all of you guys. You might be comfortable enough to say it. But when I think of the traditional thought process of a senior, because they're so private, I don't think one would ask, well, have you been tested for this? Or we need to go to the clinic and both be tested so we both know what we're working with. I don't think those conversations happen. What do you think?
I mean, it just depends really. I mean, I know our modern seniors, the ones that are like move with the times, they could very well do it. I'm not saying that it would happen all the time even with them, but to be honest, like, I don't really think about people, asking that question anymore. Especially with the rising cases, it's just like, hey, I'm attracted to you, this is what's happening. The case thing is not even probably a thought. Not until afterwards, and it's too late sometimes.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, that interview process. We need to get back to interviewing our mates, whether we're 65 plus or younger. We need to get back to interviewing potential mates. We need to get back to saying, you know what? I've been in this relationship for X amount of years. My husband had passed away, or we broke up, or she left me. Whatever the case is, I'm interested in you. I would love to actually, eventually have sex with you. But before we go that route, can we both just go to the doctor and be checked out and present each other? Hey, there was a campaign where people presented each other with their statuses, and it was a present.
Right.
There was a campaign out there. I remember that campaign. That's something that maybe should come back. Maybe it'll be a reduction on some of these STD rates on both sides of the spectrum, whether it's teens or the seniors, because that conversation doesn't seem like it's going to be happening or has been happening because, let's just face it,
But then again, people lie too, some people, when they finally get that person to be with, and then it's their thought in their head, hey, this might end all in an instant, so let me just forget to say that I have this, or, because that's one thing to think about too, because I know we had watched, I forget what it was. It's basically behind the people with, and what they feel about STDs and things like that. They come around in schools and say, hey, what if you were sitting next to someone with STDs?
Right.
And a lot of people, some of them people admit it. Like, I would be terrified because, if I really care for you, and then to hear that, oh, yeah, I definitely wouldn't stick around, not even hear the story. And it's like, sometimes you can't always say, oh, this person stuck around. Like I said earlier, sometimes people are born this way, and that's nothing that they did on their own. So, that is one thing that happens. People won't say something just because.
Right. But, in this day and age, with so much technology, like I said before, we walk around with many computers in our hands and, laptops and tablets and, all the technology that we have. We're not using it to our best advantage. We can't be if Grandma and Grandpa got syphilis, Grandma and Grandpa got AIDS, Grandma and Grandpa, and we're not talking about those who, had it and crossed over. We're talking about brand new cases. So somewhere that interviewing your mate thing really does need to come back. It may sound old-fashioned. The whole concept of quote-unquote courting. That's right, people are bringing back courting.
Courting.
That's right, courting, where you actually get to know that person before you step to the next level. That needs to come back because we have too many people trying to catch feelings so quick, and then afterwards, you're stuck. You're really stuck. You're stuck. you're either stuck with the fact that if you're lucky, and I'm going to bring that in there, and I'm not saying lucky like lucky, but if you are lucky that you didn't walk away with anything, you're great. Or if you're lucky, you walked away with something that could be cured with some antibiotics or a shot. But what if you're unlucky and you end up with something for life like herpes or AIDS or HIV? That whole common sense thing. I brought in common sense, and our seniors definitely should have common sense, especially at this age in the game. So why is it that we are so busy trying to be romantically involved? And
I think it's a sense of wanting to belong to someone, the feeling of I'm not going to be alone.
Well, life is not a Harlequin novel. Ooh, did I say that? Life is not a Harlequin novel. He doesn't come riding in on a horse with the wind blowing through his hair saying, I will be with you forever. We all know that life...
Yeah, but you got to look at it, though. A lot of seniors, and I know for a fact, because, we talk to the seniors when you do your internships and stuff for healthcare.
Right.
A lot of them, that their main thing is, sometimes, like, it's good to have someone near them. Like, if you notice, some people tend to get better when there's someone around, or they at least want to get better, even though, things are looking bad, but it still brings up that little bit of extra strength or thought process that, hey, this person's waiting on me. I need to go and get better. It's the same thing like if someone was an addict. This person's counting on me to be there, and get better. They're really cheering me on. So at the end of the day, I need to do this for myself and for that person. And when the seniors think about it, they're like, hey, no one wants me around. And somebody finally shows interest in them, whether they come from a nursing home or whatever. And they're like, hey, this person wanted me, so, this is what is meant to be and happen. This is who I was supposed to be there for, who I'm supposed to be with.
I see that scenario. All too well. The problem is that they sort of sell themselves short. And I don't believe that they know that they're selling themselves short. I think that if they ever got a chance to actually have a conversation with us with the HGP Senior Initiative, I think that brings in a whole new view of things. I think right now the view is skewed because of the fact is that, yes, you do want somebody to grow old with. And, yes, it does hurt when your spouse either dies or leaves you. I understand that. But also life does go on. And if life does go on, you need to be prepared for life. I don't think we're prepared for that. So that's my last little thing on our senior initiative. So now let's talk about agencies that help our seniors. So we know that there is the Area Agency on Aging. We know that they are nationwide. They have divisions everywhere. We have one here. But there's a little thing that's on the web called 211arizona.com.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 211arizona.org is .org. This website is a proverbial smorgasbord of everything that you could possibly think of to get information for in Arizona, for anything from automotive on down. And they had a section related to seniors. And I went through and I just took a walk through this website. So when you go on there and you select seniors, the drop-down menu gives you a list of services throughout Arizona, and these are the services: adult daycare, meals program, counseling, estate planning, foster grandparents, independent living, senior centers, and transportation. So they basically took everything that they thought a senior could possibly want to know about, and they put it in this little category for them. Now, I love it. I think it's great. But what about those seniors who are not tech savvy? What's your thought?
Or have a computer, or go out. Some seniors don't even go out. So they just at home with their TV, and they don't even really watch their TV. So
there are plenty of I think Gilbert Community Center has programs that the seniors in the community, they come out and they interact with each other and they teach them things like how to use a computer and dancing and interaction for seniors. That's great. But this program, this website has a wealth of knowledge on there that maybe some seniors are not aware of. So I took a walk through it. So for the Adult Day program, there are 27 results for the state of Arizona on there. And these results are all over the state. So no matter where you are in Arizona, you can find something with regarding to Adult Day programs for your senior, whether you want them to interact with other seniors or if you're a senior yourself, you can find something. For meals program, there are 95 results in the state of Arizona. For counseling, there were 8 results with regard to seniors, and I think it's just because they specialize in seniors. So I think it's about the because we know there's plenty of counselors out in Arizona. But I think these are specific for seniors where they would be comfortable. For estate planning, it's 6 results in Arizona. I know there are more than 6 estate planners. These must just be where they feel seniors will be more comfortable. For foster grandparents, there were 5 results in Arizona. And for those of you that don't know what a foster grandparent is, it's a program where adults over 55 spend time with children who either lost their grandparent, early on in life, or have no contact with their grandparent except probably by telephone. So this gives them the grandparent experience. And it's a win-win on both sides. The child gets interaction with the grandparent, and the grandparent has a fulfilled need there as well to have family interaction. So it is definitely a win-win. It's sort of like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, only it's a grandparent. So I think that's a great program.
Pretty cool.
Independent living centers, there's 30 of them across Arizona. Senior centers, which, as I said, we have plenty of seniors out here. There were 88 results for senior centers in Arizona. So, wow. Transportation, and these are transportations that, basically take seniors where they need to go. And they need that, especially when I think about, like I said, the seniors that I see. I don't know if you see them in your area, Vanessa, but the seniors that be on the hover rounds going down the bike path.
Yeah. Some of them are on golf carts too.
Yeah. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. And I don't think they're thinking about that, but that's really, really dangerous, especially because of the way that people, drive here in Arizona. So anybody can swipe them or whatever, and it has happened, in some cases. So, to be able to call up a service to, take you to the grocery store would be really nice, and it'd be a lot safer. Now, let's talk about the Area Agency on Aging. They have a 24-hour senior helpline. So they have people dedicated to talk to seniors 24/7. So that's a great thing. That in itself, if the senior, lives with somebody and they don't want to, have that conversation while their spouse is up or while their children are up or whatever, or if they live in a, facility where they may have a roommate, they can call them 24/7 and not have to worry about, such and such, and hear my conversation, whatever the issue is. So they also have home and community-based services. So just like the H3P Senior Initiative, where we actually are mobile, they are mobile as well. So they go out into the community, and also they have seniors come in as well and speak to them. So that is wonderful. When I took a look at their website contains a wealth of information, and it has subjects, something as simple as, aging and disability, issues to volunteer programs for seniors. And seniors need volunteer programs because a lot of them feel like, nobody wants to be bothered with them. And I'm not saying that's across the board, but there are quite a few seniors that I've met in my lifetime that feel like, you know what, I do things on my own because nobody is out there to help me. And I believe that if they knew that they had these agencies, that they have something like an area agency or agent, the H3P Senior Initiative, the 211arizona.org, and any other agencies out there, I think we would have a lot more, healthy behavior coming from seniors.
For me, though, I think it's a lot of the commercials. Because if you look at these commercials, they're basically pushing for the nursing homes and things like that. And, I think that, and I'm sorry, that would get me down if I was a senior, just all they talk about, all they hear all day long is, people, they're old, they need to be in the nursing home because they can't do nothing, and that's a lot of these commercials. Like, put straight to the point, no matter how good they make it sound or, that you'll be helping, they're really not. They're basically saying, I'm going to drop you off at daycare and this is where you're going to be at.
Well, adult daycare is not, adult daycare is not like some place where seniors go to just veg. I mean, they have activities there. And like I said, it's a place where seniors actually interact with other seniors. But we have to change our perception on a lot of things. Again, I think it still goes back to valuing our seniors. I don't think we value them the way we used to. I think we're so busy because our life is so fast-paced that we don't want to take the time out to appreciate our seniors. We don't have time to stop and enjoy a conversation with our seniors. I think that, seeing a senior on a Sunday is the most that anybody will probably have the interaction with the senior, whether that senior is at church or at the local drugstore, but to actually sit down on a park bench and have a conversation and ask their senior how their life is going. Something so simple seems to be so complicated in this fast-paced world. And that's a shame. That's an absolute shame. We have no idea what information they can give us, and I think we're very arrogant, in thinking that there's nothing that they can give us. And that's why we have so many commercials about senior centers and the bathtub thing. When my grandmother was living, I had her in my home. I had her with me. I enjoyed her company. It was a joy for me to be around her. I valued her as the jewel she was, and I miss her every day because I don't have that information to get. It doesn't have to be your grandma to have a conversation with them. I have seniors that live next door to me. I have seniors that live all around me. There's nothing wrong with saying hello. Hello is a wonderful thing because it starts off a conversation. Imagine how much things would change if people just took the time out to say hello. If you can sit up there and say hello to somebody that you're interested in, why can't you say hello to a senior that you see sitting there? Not every senior that you see thinks that you're out to rob them. Yes, I'll put that out there. Some of them just want a conversation. I remember when I rode the bus, and I would see the seniors out there way early in the morning catching the bus with me. And they would be out there by themselves, but I would have conversations with them. I enjoyed those conversations. I enjoyed it because, for one, the time passed so fast on the bus. That long 2-hour bus ride, it just passed because you're having a conversation and you're letting them actually, you see their faces light up because somebody took the time out to actually not only acknowledge them but actually wanted to listen to what they had to say. We need to get back to that.
Yeah.
That's, it doesn't cost you anything. Can you wait? When I think about the money that is spent at a Starbucks, what's the other fads they get? There's so many things out there that people spend money on, but to have a free conversation with a senior, to volunteer at a senior center. We have so many preconceived notions about what happens at different places, and until you actually go into those places and until you actually have those conversations, you'll never know. You'll still have all these preconceived notions. It doesn't cost you any money to just go in and have a conversation. Volunteer. I enjoyed spending time with not only my grandmother, but with Chris's grandmother when she was living. Those seniors, as I said, our elders are disappearing. We need to value our elders while we have them. I'm going to say it again. Our elders are disappearing. We need to value them. Call them on the phone. If you have a senior in your life, call them on the phone and see how they're doing. It don't cost you anything. Because most of all your calling plans, y'all know your calling plans. You know how many minutes you got, whatever. If you don't have any minutes, you know that phone call is free. Call them up on the phone. Make their day. Just call them. What was it? I just called to say I love you. Just call them and tell them that. You have no idea what that'll do for them. They want to hear somebody's voice. They want to hear your voice. It's sad that we shelved our seniors. And I think because we shelved them, this is why we have those STDs play into that. They're so busy looking for love in all the wrong places or in the right places that they thought they were supposed to be in. And because of that, we have this situation. I think that if we actually had that relationship that we should with our seniors, maybe some of these STDs would reduce themselves because they have other things to think about. They have that whole knowledge that somebody loves me. Somebody cares about me. Somebody cares whether or not I wake up tomorrow. I remember I spoke to a senior and I asked them how they were doing, and they said any day that I wake up on this side of the dirt is a great day. That, I get the whole thought about it, but to go that far, it's like, wow, really? Just think about it. That is definitely something, and it bothers me because, and I think I'm so passionate about seniors because of my relationship with my elders, and I value our elders. I have so many elders in my life that I was blessed with after my grandmother passed away, and I value them, and I call them, and I check on them, and when I'm missing, they miss me. Every senior deserves a relationship like that. And whether you just strike up a conversation in the pharmacy that you see somebody looking confused and trying to see where some medication is, or on the bus or at the bus stop, or hover around in the bike path, it doesn't take any money whatsoever to say hello. I think that is one of the main things that we need. We need to start having genuine conversations. I think they lead to so much more. We're selling ourselves short. What's your thoughts on that, Vanessa?
I enjoy talking to our older, our seniors. They have fun stories, and they're pretty awesome. And the things that they do in their life, and nobody would know. Like, a lot of the things, like, there are some veterans from war that I've talked to. There's some people, who, they're piloting, a long time ago, and you would never expect it just by looking at them. You think, oh, well, they didn't do much, they're just there. But you never know what kind of stories or what kind of wisdom you can get from them. Like, and of course, I have some, I work with, and I have one lady from Texas, her name is Sandy. I love her to death. And she recently retired, but she was a ball of fun, And she kept up with the best of you. We call her Hot Granny because she always, she was a modern granny. She dressed up and she had this cute little outfit and phones. But, it's still fun, you know, to be around her all the time. So, I mean, you never know what you'll get. You know, the thought process is, oh, well, you know, they won't understand me because I'm younger or I'm this age difference. But it's not. You know, it's fun talking to her and going to lunch with her and being with her when she was there. So it just depends on the person.
It does. Value is added, you know, from that conversation. And what we think is a nuisance, it adds so much value to our lives. When we think about, you know, the crazy lady with the shopping cart because nobody want to talk to, you know, you have no idea what that lady went to and through to get to that level, and now she's ostracized. But you have no idea. Just saying hello to her can make her day. You know, I know last week was Random Acts of Kindness. Every day should be a random act of kindness. Every day that you have it, and something as simple as saying hello. Wow. You know, I know that only, I think it's Safeway, and maybe Fry's, they ask you if you need help getting to your car.
It's Fry's.
I know it happened at Safeway too, but I know that they have that where they go, you need help getting to your car? Imagine if we all took the time out to ask a senior that. Wow. How would your day be impacted by that? Just the fact that you took the time out to do something nice for somebody that you don't even know. And I'm not talking about just call all the seniors that you know. I'm saying if you see somebody out there, we are so busy to donate to this and that charity or whatever, what have you. We have so much here in the United States that we don't take care of. And of course, our seniors are falling by the wayside. If you see somebody, help them. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. I'm telling you. Actually, you gain more by just saying something. But anyway, our time is winding down. So what I'm looking at, that as we have nationwide epidemic, if you will, soon to be with our seniors and STDs, we definitely need to investigate as far as where these STDs are coming from, or STIs, sexually transmitted infections, sexually transmitted diseases, are coming from. Are they stemming from, relationships that have, you know, somebody stepped out, or newly widower relationships that have began and had no idea what was out there? Again, I go back to the interview method. We need to interview people, regardless of how lonely we may be. We need to realize that in this day and age, there are so many things that we weren't aware of in our youth that now exist. It is something to trust your partner, but you also need to make sure you take care of yourself. Ensuring that you have a healthy life to be able to see the generations that are to come is one way to do that. It may be uncomfortable to ask your spouse to go out, or your significant other to go out and be tested, but that's okay, because in the long run, it benefits both of you guys. It's not just the fact that, you know, you're trying to put them on the spot, but you in turn are protecting your relationship, and in so protecting yourself, because you want to make sure, A, I didn't bring nothing in and you didn't bring anything in, so we won't have to worry about that. It's called self-preservation. It may sound vain, but for you to live a healthy life until the end, until you get called home, might be beneficial for you. Take advantage of the programs that you have out there for you. They all have programs designed to help you with things such as sexually transmitted infections. They have things to help you with just having a conversation with people. These are out there for you as seniors to use. They're in your community. They're available. Next week, we're going to be looking into the Healthcare Reform Act. It's going to be an interesting show.
Yeah?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how far we're going to dive into it, but we're going to start touching some bases. We're going to dispel some myths about the Healthcare Reform Act. We're going to dispel all that. But This has been What's New with VHHughes. I'm your host, Venus Henderson-Hughes. Vanessa, thank you again for joining me.
Always.
Look to it next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello? Hey, dude. Hello? Hello?
Ho, ho, ho! You know, many find it hard to believe I own a sleigh that can fly. But you know what I find hard to believe? The unbelievable offers going on at the winter event.
The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is back with incredible offers on the sporty CLA, the thrilling C-Class, the versatile GLA, the safe and secure GLE, the innovative GLC, and of course, the unequaled E-Class. But hurry, because these sleighs are going fast. Visit MBUSA.com/winter event. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Ho, ho, ho! You know, many find it hard to believe I own a sleigh that can fly. But you know what I find hard to believe? The unbelievable offers going on at the winter event.
The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is back with incredible offers on the sporty CLA, the thrilling C-Class, the versatile GLA, the safe and secure GLE, the innovative GLC, and of course, the unequaled E-Class. But hurry, because these sleighs are going fast. Visit MBUSA.com/winter event. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.